Hey everybody, it's Kelly G at the Craftique Studio. Welcome in. I want to apologize because this is my third New Year's resolution, which should have been published the third week of January. But if any of you or someone you know have a child who's in high school winter sports, you'll definitely understand. It's been a crazy season and now I'm finally catching my breath and I'm able to create a little bit more and spend time with you. So today I want to talk about crafty New Year's resolution number 3, which is to send a little note to someone special. And I'm going to talk you through how I made this adorable little note card that I'm going to put into my daughter's lunchbox. Lunchbox notes could be small, they could be folded, but this one is just a really cute statement card to let her know that nothing compares to her and that I love her so much. Let's get started. For this project, you will need the following supplies. A stamp set for your cute little critters. I chose the Lawn Fawn Winter Birds collection, which also comes with a coordinating die. You'll also want to have some markers on hand to color in the images, and I chose my Olo markers here. For the sentiment, I chose Uplifting Sentiment stamp set from Altenew, and depending on which stamp set you choose or which sentiment you choose, you want to have a coordinating die to be able to cut it out. You want to have something that's a shape and not an outline. So I chose this rectangle because I can choose that for multiple sentiments and it will fit nicely. To stamp the images, I am using Gina K Designs Amalgam Ink in black. This will allow me to stamp the images and also color them with the alcohol ink markers without any type of blurring or bleeding of the image. For the sentiment, I'm using one of the Altenew fresh dye inks, and this is the Deco Garden collection. As you can see, there's quite a number of different colors to choose from. And I also chose a paper palette that would match some of these or coordinate with some of these ink colors too. And for this, I chose the Lawn Fawn Favorite Flannel 6x6 Petite Paper Pack. And as you can see, there's quite a lot of colors that I could use. And then again, I can coordinate each of those colors in the collection with one of these inks. You will also need some foam adhesive, and I'm using the Altenew foam adhesive. And as far as tools go, you will need a stamp positioner tool like the Misty or an acrylic block. And then also a die cut machine, and I have the Platinum 6. So let's get started. You will also need some white cardstock for the card base and also for the backing for the front design. The first thing you want to do is to cut your cardstock so that you will have the shape of your note card. I chose to take one of the red sheets of the 6x6 paper pad and cut that down in half to a 3" by 6" piece of paper. I also cut the same size of a white cardstock as well. The way that the card will go together is that you will place the red on top of the white and you'll have a peekaboo window which will reveal the sentiment underneath. What I'm going to do first is to stamp my sentiment on the white sheet. And this is what's going to appear through the peekaboo window on your lunch note. So I'm going to use a coordinated color to the red, which will be the navy. I think that would be a nice bold choice. I'm going to choose You Are So Lovely. I Love You So Much. Nothing compares to you. I like that one. And by the way, this stamp set is awesome. You can use this to encourage anybody. Wishing you all the best. Shine Bright is a nice one. Please don't ever change. I'm going to make something with that too. And then You're the Best. Love it. And it comes with a cute little flower that you can actually use. We'll see about that. Now, the important thing is you want to line this up in the spot where you want the window to appear. And I want to center it here. Okay, the first time you use a stamp, it's important to condition it. And that basically just means that you want to rub the residue that comes on it after it's manufactured naturally. And you just rub your finger across it or your skin, and you'll be able to feel like a little bit of texture starting to peek through, and it usually is a little shiny or glossy initially. So I'm going to now stamp this one in the navy color. Change the paper and put in the red cardstock. And the reason why you want to do that is because you're going to stamp the image onto this sheet as well. The way that it's positioned here needs to match the way it's positioned on the red cardstock so that you can cut your window out and it would be in the same spot where you intended it to be. So you don't even have to ink it up much more. We just need an impression on the paper. That's good enough. So now we can line up our die, tape it down, and die cut it. So here's the piece cut out, and there you go. It fit in there perfectly. The piece that came out of the window can be used for another project because the paper actually is double-sided. So you would be able to use this side for a different project if you wanted. I'm also going to add a little something to this sentiment because it's a little boring for me. If you wanted to use a background stamp, you could do that to add a little bit of interest in it. I'm going to actually take this little heart stamp here and use the coral red ink and just stamp a couple of hearts around it. I wanted to keep the inside pretty simple because we're going to have a lot of texture with the plaid paper as well as the birdies that we're going to color. Now, when you're stamping little embellishments like this, you want to keep it into a visual triangle with your eyes. So I would either stamp another one up here or another one somewhere here, which I think I'll do. And you want to keep it to odd numbers. So if I wanted to add another one up here, I would have to add like another one here or another one here to even it out. But I like it this way. Just trying to keep it simple. I have a tendency to overdo it sometimes, and then it's a hot mess and I have to start all over again. But sometimes simple is better, right? So once we have our background done, our bottom part done, I also want to, let's just keep checking to make sure it fits within the window, which is great. If you want to keep adding some things, you could do so, but just make sure you're mindful of the window that you have. Okay, here are my cute little birdies. I love the color and they look so happy and cheery. I love it. So now all we need to do is put everything together. I want to figure out before I start to glue where I want my little birdies to go. And I'm thinking just to keep them at the bottom, just nice and simple. If you had a bunch of different birdies or embellishments or flowers or things, you can kind of add them all around. But again, I'm just going to keep this really simple today. Okay. So I think that looks good. I'm going to now attach this piece and then attach my birds. I actually have added some of the Altenew foam tape here to give it some dimension so that when it sticks on, it actually is going to form a real three-dimensional window, which is really cute. At this point, if you wanted to put a piece of acetate here and then add some fun little glitter or sequins or something like that, you can make it into a shaker card. But I wanted to, again, keep it simple, and I just wanted a little window here. And from the Lawn Fawn Winter Birds collection, I'm going to choose these two little birdies. Now, usually I would color these shapes before I cut them out, but I was a little too eager. But that's okay, because I can put them on my Misty with my waffle flower grit mat, and they will stay put while I'm coloring. I'm going to pull out my Olos and get designing. Let me zero it in a little bit. And if you haven't seen my video on trying the Olo markers, check that out as well. It's part of the I Tried It series in the video library on YouTube. We carry an assortment of these markers in different collections in the shop. And by the way, every item in the supply list that you've seen here today is available in the Craftique shop. I'm choosing some very rich colors here to make the birds pop against the red plaid. I don't know a lot about color theory, but I know that purple and red are kind of colors that pop off of each other. If that's the, I don't know the terminology for it, but those two colors work well against each other. Maybe they were on the color wheel opposite of each other. I don't know. If you know, let me know in the comment section. Okay, so I have my two cute little birds. Aren't they precious? They're very colorful too. Kind of like that. Makes them stick out. All right, so we have all of our pieces completed. Now we're just ready to assemble. Busted. I decided to add a couple more embellishments from the set. So I picked this cute little pine cone and this cute little tree branch, and I'm going to add them to the design just to give it a little bit more fun around the edge. And you can just have so much fun with this with little critters. Lawn Fawn has a bunch of the different ones, and make whatever comes to mind. I think I like this. All right, I'm going to glue this down. Now, you can pop these by putting some foam tape underneath, pop them up. So I decided to pop up the tree branch, the bird, the purple bird, and the pine cone with the foam tape, and then left this one flush, the little blue bird, because I actually had it sitting over the window, so I didn't want too much dimension there. There's already dimension in the window and then already with the log or the tree branch. So it just gives it a lot more dimension overall. And that is my lunch note. Can you think of anyone who would love to see a little note in their lunchbox? And how cute would this be to see? Again, you can go to the description section to see a link to where you can shop this entire look and then create some more fun on your own. Please leave a message in the comments as to who you would send your note to. I hope you enjoyed the video today. Have a great one. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks so much for tuning in.